Yeah, welcome to the dojo, baby, man. Have no fear, TyKwonDoe is here, man. Listen, we're going to talk about a key skill in approaching women. And this skill will really help you flow better in conversations. It'll help you come up with things to say. It'll better help you effectively deal and talk to people in everyday life. Not even just when you're trying to approach a woman. You could watch this and, use checking a person's temperature in networking. You can use it in general conversations. You can use it to leverage relationships to your advantage. So we're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to use this video, for example, in this transformation. 25-year-old virgin approaches woman. And I'm going to use this example because this guy does not have a lot of experience, right? So I want to compare the frame of minds, and I'm going to compare why that a person who has a lot of experience, and I'm going to use myself for example, right? And why do I use myself? Because I can say without a shadow of a doubt, this is my area of expertise. This is where I eat, sleep, and breathe, right? I don't talk about Tinder. I don't talk about DMing women on Instagram. Why not? Because I don't do these things. I don't like them. It's more modern ways of dating. But there are different things you can benefit in a human one-on-one interaction and conversation that I feel like you can't online. And the reason I fight so hard for this is because I can tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, I have come over at least 1,000 women in a week before. Easily. And I had this conversation on my Twitch. You may see it play down here where we just talk about stuff, right? And I was talking about this because I was like, all right, listen, let me break down some of these numbers for y'all, right? So my high school, at the time I graduated, had about 2,500 students, roughly or so, somewhere around that number, right? Across the street was an all-girls high school. At the top of the block was a transportation center, which is basically like a spot where all the buses run and the train station is under there. Crowded place, right? Not only is it women in the classroom, women at the end of the school day at the let out, women across the street, women at the top of the block, women on the different buses that I might be taking to get to and from school or home or wherever I'm going. Then on top of that, I worked at the biggest mall on the East Coast, which is like the third or fourth biggest mall in the country. And I worked at the biggest store at that mall on the busiest days, the weekends. So, dog, when I tell you I literally could not get away from, just like I said, this ain't even just about approaching women and getting women. But I couldn't get away from women. I couldn't get away from talking to people one-on-one. I couldn't get away from having conversations. But it's something about constantly being saturated in these environments and smothered by different people and various people in unpredictable situations. Outside of my school, right, it got to a point where, you can't really predict who you're going to come across, what they're going to be like, what they're going to be about, etc. So by interacting and talking to all these different people, it gave me the ability to come up with what I call check a person's temperature. Let me move my phone. I don't want this shit, vibrating too much and becoming a distraction or whatever, right? But it's something I developed called checking a person's temperature. And in the modern time and day and age, where we're so on our phones and on social media, we tend to forget the type of shit we benefit from as humans and that we can notice and peep game on and use to our advantage. So let's hop right into it, right? When it comes to checking a person's temperature, think of a person's temperature as their general state of being. Like I said, we're going to use we're going to use 3 interactions from this video to push my point. And I'm going to have examples when I break this shit down. I got the notes and all. We ready to go, right? Now, look at a person's temperature as their general state of being. And I had 2 examples for this, right? Now, let's say you're a 18-year-old person, you're a senior in college. I'm going to put y'all in a viewpoint, and I'm going to give y'all some perspective. And this is quite literally how I've used this to my advantage. And it comes from all of my interactions. You're 18 years old, or I was 17 at the time, a senior in college, right? And they have college fairs. Now, college fairs bring different universities at these podiums, not podiums, but at these desks. And there would be all these different universities behind each of these desks, right? And each of these desks will have maybe one or two representatives from the university. And as you're talking to each of these different people, right, you may have Eugene from Harvard and Stacy from Stanford, right? Now, Eugene from Harvard, or Harry from Harvard, let's make this more memorable. Harry from Harvard and Stacy from Stanford. Harry from Harvard is very militant. That's the temperature I get from him. He's very militant like, very disciplined, hardcore, real persistent. Like, this is his temperature. This is his general state of being. This is his overall vibe as a person, right? And Stacy from Stanford is very down to earth. She's very down to earth, very cool, very emotional leaning. Not just because she is a woman. I'm not making this about being a man or a woman. I'm just made this up, right? But that's her overall state of being, right? Now, as I'm talking to each of these people, one thing I'm realizing, like I said, is I'm catching this early. You can catch this very fast. And actually, I'm gonna use a random interaction to show you how fast you can catch this. Let's say you get pulled over by a cop, right? You get pulled over by a cop. You know within the first 3 seconds or first 2 sentences out of that cop's mouth what kind of person they are. They may say, "Hey, how you doing? I pulled you over today." You say, "Okay, this cop chill. They seem chill. They seem like they cool, and they don't seem like they trying to be all pressy and all aggressive." Or they come over and say, "Sir, put your hands on the steering wheel. Turn the lights on. License registration." You're like, "God damn, yo, It might not even be that this cop had a bad day. It's just that they have this controlling temperature, this aggressive, do what I say kind of like this is what I mean by you can check a person's temperature. You can catch it relatively fast, right? Now this is going to get deeper because people can hide their temperature. People can, you might see it act differently under pressure and under stress. But just follow me here. Let's go back to you being at the college fair. Now here's how you start to use this to your advantage. Now Harry from Harvard is more on the militant side, and Stacy from Stanford is more on like the down to earth, cool, and neutral kind of side, right? If I'm trying to create a connection through my conversation with each of these people, I'm not going to approach it the same. Now, my temperature and how my temperature influences theirs is a whole different conversation. But right now we're focusing on recognizing a person's temperature and how do you think? How do you get inside that mind of leveraging that to your advantage, right? Follow me, just be slow a little bit, right? Now, with Harry from Harvard, I'm just making this up, right? I tell him my story, right? I'm emphasizing ambition, grit, perseverance, strength, right? I'm emphasizing these details in my story. And I'm telling, listen, I'm not looking for any handouts. I want to get my foot in the door so I can start working harder, and I really want to go and excel at that next level. I can move him with this kind of story, right? It can influence him because that's his general state of being. It's his language, right? Stacy from Stanford, her language or her what will move her. It may be something like, if I explain my story in a way that says, I overcame toughness. I showed faith and belief, and I never gave up on myself. And it got me to where I am today. And now I'm just open and looking to get to that next level and my next blessing. This might move her more, right? Even though when you think about it, it's the same story. These are like kind of the same qualities. But how I deliver it and how I communicate it to this person, depending on what kind of person they are, right? One story, right? The story to Harry, the way I communicated it to him, it shows assertiveness. It shows that I can take initiative. The way I communicated to Stacy, it invokes worry in her. Now she's worried. Now she wants to help me. She wants to oh my God, what can I do for this person, right? Now, both of them are going to feel that way, right? But for her, it came through the worry. It came through, wow, how can I help? And for Harry, it came from, this is an ambitious young man who wants it. I'm going to look out for him, right? it's two different vibes that they get from how I deliver and communicate my story. Catch this. If I tried to influence or move Harry with the worry vibe of my story, he would be repulsed. He would be like, it would reflect the like, man, stop being a bitch. That's basically the vibe he gets. Like, stop being a bitch, right? Like, that's how he thinks. He thinks life doesn't happen to him. He thinks he creates his life. He thinks he's disciplined. He breaks down his day. He puts the work in. He don't want to hear no sucker sob story, because that's how he sees and views the world. Then Stacy, she's more agreeable. She's more open to things happen, and sometimes people have downs, and it's all right, and that's her, right? That's her temperament. That's her temperature, or etc. Right? And as a person, as I'm aware of this, it's different ways to move different people. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to notice right now. And the next step, or the next thing I have in my notes, is I'm not suggesting that you mirror a person, right? Because from me and my state of mind, I'm not trying to mirror them. I'm just being mindful of them. I'm being aware of them. I'm paying attention, right? And mirroring is when you reflect what you see, right? And you mimic a person, and then they tend to like you more when you do this. But when you take a step further than that, right? You start to realize, and what y'all heard was a notification in the background, right? But what you hear when you mirror somebody, you reflect what they see, and they start to like that, and people vibe off you a little bit easier, right? The thing is, though, and you may see this in like a person like Kai Cenat. You may see this in like a person like me. You may see this in a person like Miami the Kid, or anybody who is very confident in their own charisma or their own state of being, their own temperature, right? Guess what you see? We interact with all people where we are, right? Kai Cenat, high energy. He's lit, he's vibrant. Guess what? He's using his temperature to influence the other person's. So that's better than mirroring, even though you can use mirroring to your advantage. But just keep in mind why I said not to mirror, because when you are very comfortable and confident in yourself, people feed off of you. People follow you. You influence them. Now, let's keep going. Because here's the punchline. Before we jump into the reactions and start to look at this and break this down, right? You're mindful. What I want y'all to get from this is that you're being mindful and intentional. That's the bottom line, is that if you have a lack of experience, right? You have no XP, you haven't slayed no demons, you ain't did none of your side quests, you ain't sent no demons on one-way trips in the back of the Dooney van straight to Dooney Land. Come on, man, straight to the gulag. You ain't sent no Dooney demons to Dooney Land. Your lack of experience, like this person, like he says in the beginning, I'm gonna actually play that. Watch this.
I want to get comfortable, obviously, and get.
Watch this.
I'm repeating myself, getting out of my comfort zone, but I definitely get in my head too much, and if I see a really cute girl I want to talk to, I kind of worry, like, oh, what's she gonna think? This random guy just coming up and talking to her, like.
Now, catch this. The key. Here's what I want you to focus on. You notice how he said I get in my head too much? This is a lack of experience issue. You know why? Because like I said, you compare me to him. Like I said, I can easily, without a doubt, say I've came at 1,000 women in a week before, without even questioning it. The reason, what separates me from him with this experience that I'm trying to help y'all understand, even though you still got to get your experience, there's no way around it. You got to put that work in. No matter what, you got to put that work in. You got to go outside. You got to get more used to these things, right? Is that because it's normal to me to approach a person. It's normal for me to introduce myself. It's normal for me to interact, communicate, laugh, make connections, network. Because in my mind, this is normal, and to him, it's like a leap. It's outside of his comfort zone and makes him uncomfortable. We are being mindful of two different things. He's being mindful of himself. He's self-conscious. He's judging himself. He's, oh my God, she sees this. I'm weird. I'm creepy. What if she thinks I'm awkward? What if I make her uncomfortable? This is what he's focused on. I'm confident in myself. I'm sure of myself. I trust myself. So when I go into this interaction, I'm not in my head. I might even be in her head. I'm considering I know that when, I'm approaching a woman, she doesn't know her from a creep or a cool guy or somebody she would like to talk to. So I have to disarm this nervousness and anxiety in the first 2 sentences. This is something I can think about or be aware of because I'm not worried about my own anxiety. I'm thinking about the person I'm communicating with. I'm considering this, right? And when you had this lack of experience and you all in your own head, it's harder to pay attention. It's harder to be mindful and aware, and it's harder to think broadly. And like I said in the NLE Chopper video, which made y'all request this temperature video, right? That's like the part 1 to this, I guess. Is I talked about like when you are so focused on your own self, it's harder for you to use your ears in communication. Because listen, a well speaker, a person who can articulate themselves and communicate well, is something called rhetorically sensitive. Now you can look that up, rhetorical sensitivity, which basically means I'm aware of my person that I'm sending my message to. That's all communication is, sending and receiving, right? I'm very conscious of them. I'm very aware of them. I'm always thinking about them. And I'm coming from their state of mind because I'm listening to them. I'm paying attention, and this helps me come up with things to say. This gives me more to work with. Now, you always have to have tools in your own arsenal. You always have to have things to work with, right? But in a conversation, as you're going to see in this video, different people give you more to work with. Some give you less to work with. So this is where the intentional part, like I said, comes in. I said be mindful and intentional. So if you're intentional, look at it like this. Intention is the address. Mindfulness is your GPS, right? Being mindful is your GPS. Being intentional is like the address. So I can give you an address. I can say, go to 500 Willowbrook Avenue Street, whatever, right? And there's a million ways to get there. It depends on where you are, where you're coming from. You see what I'm saying? There's shortcuts. You can go off the GPS, etc., because you know your GPS. You know the address, right? That's the intention. That's the end goal. I want to get this woman's number. I want to introduce myself. Whatever the intention is, right? Snapchat, Instagram, whatever y'all use, right? That's the intention. Now, there's a million ways to get there. I can start off by introducing myself. I can start off with a compliment. I can start off making a joke. Some of y'all even use pickup lines. As corny as cringe that is to me, listen, I don't give a fuck. You use what you use. That's my point. You could make a right or you could make 3 lefts, as long as you get to your destination, that address. So I've been talking enough. I've been on an 18-minute rant. Let's get into the video. Hopefully y'all took notes. Y'all followed everything I'm saying. It makes sense. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. And I'm going to go, which one I wanted to go to first? I'm going to go to this one. Right? Let's start with this group of women that he came up to, right?
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
You'll see how he checks the temperature very fast.
Absolutely. It's just one, so. Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I don't know, I just saw you guys and I thought I'd come talk to you and everything like that, and I thought you all were really pretty, I'm not gonna lie, so.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's your day's going good so far? How long have you been here for? Like just for a couple hours or?
Probably like 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. You guys all live in PB, I assume, right?
NorCal.
NorCal, whereabouts?
I'm gonna pause it right here, right? Now, if he's nervous, let's break this down from both sides. If he's nervous, he's still self-conscious at this point. If he were confident, and like I said earlier, when you can use your own temperature to influence another person, we didn't break all that down, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it now. I'm coming in super calm, smiling, friendly. He kind of did. Hey, how you guys doing? Real, opens up the crowd. And already I catch. They all said, good, blah, blah, blah. Like, this let me know off it immediately. They friendly. They open to, conversation. And they they pretty, like I said, that's the important part. They open the conversation. They ready to talk. Right? Now, he is missing the intentional part. It's like, what was the purpose of you coming over here? You know what I'm saying? We talking about Palm Beach and San Diego and, Pacific Beach. I said Palm Beach. That's all we done in Florida. We talking about all these random details. Now, again, like I said, when you know the GPS, it doesn't matter how you get there. So maybe he uses this conversation to come up with a date or a proposal of them hanging out after this, or him giving them their contact information. But you'll see that's not the case. Watch.
By Sacramento.
By Sacramento. Okay. Yeah, I have a uncle up in Ukiah, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now listen. Who cares? Let's be real. Who cares? Unless you use it intentionally. I have an uncle up in Ukiah, so I'm not too familiar with the neighborhood, but I once tried this place who made these great quesadillas, and I would love to take you out there one day, or we can have a further conversation, because I'm gonna let you guys continue whatever y'all was doing, and I'm gonna go about my business. You see how I used that uncle detail, made some shit up, and used it to make a date to end the conversation and get to my point. That's the point of what I mean by saying, like, you're being intentional. I'm always having my intention in mind. No matter how I get there. I just fucking made that up off the top of my head for this video. But all I'm saying is, if you are more intentional in your conversations, you can start to spin things and turn nothing into something.
Because if I tell Ukiah to some people, like, they won't even know where I'm talking about. Like, Mendocino County, like, they won't even know, but...
Going nowhere. Right?
I don't know, yeah, I
And this is where you lose them, right? It went from the girl, looking up at him, smiling, now all of them are, like, looking at the ground. Like, barely even looking at him when they talk. You see what I'm saying? So now he's lost the whole interaction. Because it was drawn, I was like, okay, like, what's the point of you even being here? So we're going to go to this one, right? And I wanted to point out about this one. You notice how the friend tried to, like, cock block. But the girl he was actually talking to was giving him good energy. Watch this.
Just sit down, like, automatic.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, I just want to...
Now I'm going to say this, too, while it's on the top of my head. You want to know the reason that he gets away with a lot of these conversations? Because he got this whole surfer, cool, calm, laid back vibe to him. So when people talk to him, they don't think creep. They don't think nervous weirdo. He comes in, hey, how you doing? Like, he gets that off very well.
Come in but talk to you. I thought you were kind of cute, so...
Yeah.
What are you guys doing today?
We're going
Now, you hear the friend. Yeah, the boyfriend. Do you notice that the original girl didn't say that? Now, even he can handle this. This is where you could use your own temperature to influence. Oh, that's all right. My name is blank. Now, skip past the whole boyfriend comment and then introduce himself to the girl. You see what I'm saying?
He does? Okay.
We're just going to our friend's grad party. We're grad.
Oh,
Now, he catch this. He said, what are you guys up to? And the girl was telling him.
okay.
From SDSU right
Oh, well, congratulations to you. But, I don't know, she already...
Now, it's cock blocking. That's all right, because guess what? What do we already catch from the girl he's talking to? Open the conversation, friendly. Now, this don't mean she gonna fuck him. I'm not stretching all these details out there, right? All I'm saying is, it's giving him more to work with. Like, he said it like a decent person would. Oh, all right, congratulations. I'm happy for y'all. That's good to hear. But y'all on y'all way. And if it's all right with you, my name is blank, and I wanted to give you my number, or I wanted to take your number down, and maybe we could talk more. She could still say no. But the bottom line is, because you're intentional, you're getting to your point, and you're finding out faster. Y'all think this should be rejection. It's not rejection. She doesn't even know you. How can she reject you when she doesn't even know you? She's only rejecting who she thinks you are. So the bottom line is, all you're doing when you approach a stranger or talk to another person is you're giving them the opportunity to get to know you, the opportunity to talk to you, the opportunity to fall in love with you, the opportunity to be obsessed with you, whatever way you frame it. Whether they take that opportunity or not, it's all right. I'm still an opportunity. I'm still who I am. You can't reject me or make me or break me or make me feel less of myself. I'm still who I am before and after I approach you. Before and after I get your number or don't. This is how y'all gotta think. This is how y'all gotta understand these situations, or y'all gonna be too caught up in your head.
He gave me the answer, but anyways, have a good one, okay?
And see, maybe he was paying attention to the friend. She's being annoying. Me, I'm focused on my intention. This is what I said. Lack of experience, you mindful, you self-conscious of the wrong things. She made him feel more insecure. She made him feel less confidence. So he just walked away and let it go. Right? Now watch this. W man. So watch this. Watch this.
Thank you, you too.
Watch this.
I was getting it.
bro. Hey, at least you tried, bro.
I know. Thank you, man. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having some balls, dude, on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Look, God shows him some love, man. All right, we're gonna show this one last. This one, because this was his best one. But I hope y'all listening to what I'm saying, because this how you gotta get inside your head, bro. This how you gotta think. Because he could, in my opinion, he could have still secured that. You never know. She might not like her boyfriend that much. She might. Who cares?
Exactly.
If that's your cup of tea.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. May I pet your dog?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Is that like a mini Aussie Shepherd?
Yeah, I'm dog sitting for my sister.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Here, I'll just. I just want to kind of sit down, and, like, pet this thing.
His name's Brody.
Brody. Oh, nice little Brody. I'm Jack. Really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I know. I feel like handshaking is like it's
Oh, yeah, it's like
it's weird to like
very
get used to that. Yeah. But
Now, off rip, she's laughing, he's laughing, smiling. He introduced himself, shook her hand. Bing, 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 bing.
yeah, how's your day going otherwise?
It's pretty chill.
Pretty chill?
Mostly this.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
It's good.
Then she goes, "What about you?"
You know, I'm just kind
Oh, bing, 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 bam.
of like hanging out with a friend and, you know, walking the boardwalk and all that stuff. So,
Nice.
and you live in PB, I assume, right?
I live in Bird Rock, yeah.
Oh, Bird Rock. Okay, yeah.
I used to live, like, down Grand, but...
Down Grand.
Yeah, another thing I noticed, she giving him a lot of details, a lot of answers, a lot of information. She's open, she's sharing, he already won before he even realized it. Like, it's already
Yeah,
over.
Months ago.
I'm off of like Mission, Missouri, so it's like a stone's throw from the ocean, you know.
Nice, yeah.
But Bird Rock that's another great area too, you know. So
It's, like, very, retirement-y. Like,
retirement.
yeah.
Wish I could have a dog in my house.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God, like, bro, this might have been his worst line yet. Any direction, any angle he could have took for this, and he said, "Wish I had it." Oh my God, still saves it. Still ends. You know, whatever.
Yeah, it's nice. I get to watch him, like, every few weeks and stuff.
She could have let that end awkwardly, right? But she said she started, you know, sharing this.
For, like,
Oh really? Yeah.
borrow him for my sister, and then I don't have, like, any of the responsibility long term. All the perks.
I know. Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
I mean, so. Anyways, I do have to go catch up back with my friend, but I was asking. I want to ask if you want to get some coffee or a drink sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let me get your number. If this dog will not lick me anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I don't mind. All right, here we go. Is that coffee Kono's coffee? I actually had I had the iced coffee. It's really
Doing too much, gangy. You killing the moment. You just let it sink in, let it settle. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to say nothing at this point. Let her type it in, shake your hand, say it was nice to meet you, have a good day. I'm gonna call you later. I'm gonna text you later. I'm gonna whatever, however you fucking finish. That's it. Simple. Chef's kiss. Easy.
really good.
Nice. Yeah, I like this spot. It's good.
Ever had Better Buzzed? Probably have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff gets you buzzed, like, actually, you know?
Yeah.
Laughing at anything this guy says, man. She on his pause, man. But listen, like I said, what y'all can generally take from this though is if y'all see how he comes with the same energy, people respond differently, bro. Like you react to enough people, you do enough door-to-door sales, you realize like you are the consistency that matters. Your manners, your respect, your eye contact, your poise, your composure. I talk about all these things. See, now we're starting to talk about the receiving end. I've been doing so many breakdowns on what you do, what you say, how you say it, etc. But now we're talking about the receiving end a little bit more. So I'm hoping y'all starting to pay attention to how both sides play a part. An interaction or communication is live. It's a live experience. You give and you receive, and then based on what you receive, you give this back, and it can be played a million ways. And this is how sometimes y'all may be ignorant to situations where you could apply pressure. because it's right in front of you, but you're not paying attention. You don't even know what to look for. So I'm going to end it right there. Dojo to the moon, to Saturn. We live in the solar system. The limbs don't even know we exist. Baby.